All right, Rippers, I know you guys have been waiting for it. It's here. The Super Duper Duty build is together. Now, you guys might ask, why do you call it a Super Duper Duty? Well, because they call theirs the Super Duty, but then they want to charge you $2,000 to $2,400 or more, depending on the availability. And they don't offer an ambidextrous lower. Let's face it, everything about the Geissele builds are great. I love them, right? Except for the lower. It's just kind of like yawn, right? It doesn't have what it should have for its caliber rifle, which is ambidextrous controls and a flared mag well, right? So I thought, I'm kind of on a spending freeze right after Christmas for indefinite future. If you guys are all been keeping up, you'll know why. But beforehand, during Christmas shopping at Black Friday, well, Santa Claus must have thought I was a good boy. So he did what I want you guys all to do. It's okay to shop for bargains, right? And it's okay to get things like Palmetto State Arms. Look, I shot with a guy at the range the other day, had a saber. I got to shoot it. It was nice. It was nice. It was a good shooting rifle. It had things like a locked notch on the handguard, which is good to have. It has a good barrel on it. It shot just fine. Didn't mess up. It wasn't heavy. It was a good shooting gun. Wasn't overgassed, right? And you know what? If that's what you need to do in order to have a firearm, absolutely. Even if it's the starting line of Smith & Wesson or Bushmaster, if they're even still around, PSA, Rock River, any of those, right? But if you do get the lower quality ones, I would go through it and kind of take it apart, clean it, do your own QC, put it back together, and make sure everything is tip-top, right? And peened and all those kind of things, that where it needs to be, or staked, as some people call it, which is truly the correct term. But that being said, I decided I'm going to build a Super Duty the way it should be, but it's going to be a Super Duper Duty, right? So I not only got the complete Geissele upper and all the rest of the parts, and we'll go over those in a second, and then got a Griffin armament lower. Now, I missed the blem ones, which that's fine. I don't have to have blems, but it would have saved me another, $20 or something like that. But the coupon code, thanks Fish, just worked on the new ones too. So for $173, you get an actually nice lower that, just for the record, works with PMags as long as you correctly install your push button for the magazine release, right? Don't put it in so far. It doesn't need to be. Plus, it'll stick out a little further if you don't. Get you a better purchase on that button, right? Right. So, that being said, I built the Super Duper Duty, and here it is. And of course, it's clear and all of that kind of good stuff. But that's it right there. Now, what we've got on it right here is, I got Magpul aluminum rails. I don't really like the fiber ones. They're a little bit lighter, but better is better, right? Machined is better, in my opinion. Now, when you ordered, this is a 14.5 pin and weld from Geissele. So it has a Geissele bolt, has all Geissele stuff in the upper, has a Geissele marine charging handle, their marine one, I think they call it, which reduces gas if you're running a suppressor as well. It has a, let's see here, got everything else. Geissele rail, which I love the Geissele rail. The clamping system is money. It has a big notch up here to make sure it doesn't rotate on you. The QC is just excellent, even though you still should go through and QC it yourself. The only thing I would say I wish they would do is offer an adjustable gas block in their firearms, in their Super Duties. I just think that kind of gun deserves an adjustable gas block. Just saying. But it turns out this one's really not overgassed in any way or undergassed. It's gassed right where it should be. So now I don't really care that for the Huxworks flash hider device they put on the end. I did go shoot it. It does reduce recoil a little bit, as well as the flash signature a lot. It works well. It's nicely built. But it requires you to either run a Huxworks can or get an adapter, they say they have, to put on your other suppressors that will screw onto their quick connect, which may be the way I'm going. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or take this off and pin and weld a Silencer Co. quick connect on the end that's a muzzle brake instead. Why don't you guys put that down in the comment section and tell me, which way should I go? Should I spend the money, even though I'm on a spending freeze, but should I spend the money on a adapter so I can use all my Silencer Co. cans, or even any other can with a standardized hub? Or should I take that thing off and pin and weld on a Silencer Co. quick connect on there? Then I can use it on my Silencer Co. cans. So put that in the comment section. I always like your guys' ideas and thoughts on those kind of things, and I do follow them, as you guys know. Now, to get into some of the things we have in here, so then we, of course, on Black Friday, use their sales to get a Geissele buffer tube with the braided spring and an H3 buffer, since I'm going to be running a suppressor on this most of the time, which is not only their recommendations, but it did turn out to be the right one after going to the range. It does have a all Geissele parts. Now they're the Marine Super Duty, or whatever they want to call it, in the lower. So it has now, the Griffin. Now this being a Griffin lower has its own I can never say that word, but their own little magazine button on this side right here that lifts like that. See, as you can see, the PMag will come out. It lifts their deal. So I bought a lower parts kit, the Marine Duty one from Geissele, which is nice because it has a bigger paddle there. It has the little paddle on the bottom. It had all the springs and doodads and everything that you need to put together your lower and your push pins, the takedown pins, and all of that. It was all good quality. The only thing I couldn't use was this, which is their Maritime bolt catch. And the reason why is because the Maritime bolt catch won't really work really well. It gets in the way of the ambidextrous safety on that. I'm going to take a closer look at it to see if I can modify it at all so that it doesn't get in the way. But for now, I just left the Geissele one that came, or the Griffin one that came on there, figuring that's the one they want in there. Oh, and that reminds me, I can't actually, forget everything I said. I can't even modify or use this, because this actually works in conjunction with, right there, their bolt drop or bolt catch on the other side. So they work hand in hand. Like when you push on this side, you can see that one just barely go up and down a little bit. That's because this is actually not just a bolt release, it's a bolt catch as well. You can hit it from the bottom side when you pull your thing back and lock your thing back, which is more important to me than having a big old paddle over here, right? Because I've used all these littler paddles all the time, work great. And out at the range, this bolt release on this side got a lot of work, and it really does work really well. So the nice things about it too is you have these sling points for the quick connect sling adapter thingies that you put on there. It's an M-LOK rail, of course. It's not very heavy, even completed, right? Now, of course, down on the bottom, we have the Griffin ambidextrous safety, as you can see. Now this kit from Geissele did come with an ambidextrous safety on the bottom, or on this right here, which has the rebated one here so it doesn't dig into your knuckle on your shooting finger there, and it works just great. So that got kept as well. Now, my brother, RDR, knows that I like drop-in cassette triggers that are flat, that have a single stage, right about 3 pounds on most of my rifles, but he said, you won't be sorry if you get the Geissele trigger, right? I think it's the SSA or whatever, but the good one, right? The 2-stage. And I gotta tell you, he was right. The 2-stage, even one time, crept up on me and went off just like butter, right? Of course, it was in a safe direction and I was already on the target. But that being said, the minimal creep on that first stage that comes up is actually kind of a good thing for home defense or battle use or whatever, real, let's call it work use, that kind of thing. It gives you a little bit of a should I or shouldn't I moment, right? But beware, because when you get to that wall breaks really crisply and it resets very well too, very quick. So that being said, you won't be sorry if you go with this 2-stage trigger. It acts a lot like a single stage with just a little bit of take up. So I'm going to give it a good thumbs up from there. And thank you, RDR, that's Red Dawn Readiness, for filling me in there. Now, some other things that we got in there, of course, we're running PMags on it right here. It's got this nice flared mag well, as you can see, which helps for magazine changes and that kind of thing. Also put just a nice, inexpensive, probably China-made sling swivel connecting points right here at the castle nut for the rear. Also running a good local company here, which I hope someday them and I, which is called Rogue Ops, here in Medford, Oregon, or Southern Oregon. Rogue Ops makes custom rifles. Hopefully they're going to work with me to make a 6.5 ARC duty rifle. I think that really is what we should have upgraded to, rather than the 6.8 Spear. 6.8 Spear or the 277 Fury or whatever you want to call it. Or even if you have one in 308. It's great as a 308 battle rifle, that's what you're going to do, but for a regular infantryman's rifle, it's heavy and it recoils a lot. I think it would be better if it was in 6mm arc. If you don't agree or do agree, put your comments in the comment section. But that's what I think would have been a great thing. It allows you to get a heavier bullet weight, as well as good velocity for getting through brush and things like that. And is kind of a little bit of a laser beam out to a longer distance. So, and you can fit it in an AR-15 or M16, M4, whatever you want to call it, size rifle, so you can stay light. You might lose a round or two, but that's minimal. That's minimal, right? So we're going to see if how it holds up against this rifle, hopefully, if they'll do a project with me. But this is their front grip guard thingy. It's got an angled foregrip on there, as well as a barrier stop if the light wasn't in the way there. I like to run these little TLR 8s, and you guys can give me your opinion on that, because I want to know, do I leave the TLR 8 on there? Because the idea is to keep this as a grab and go, lightweight, ready, has everything you need to get to business. And quite honestly, 500 lumens is plenty. I would love for Goon Beam to give me one to test against some of these other options that I'm going to show you, or this other option I'm going to show you. But this really does work well as far as having it right here where you can just trigger it with your finger on and off. Same thing from the other side if you switch hands. It really does work well. It's small, compact, doesn't get in the way. And it's, it's really truly in line with the bore rather than off to the side like a lamb would be, or a bigger flashlight here. So it's less clunky, less weight. I did put another sling swivel connection point there just so that I can kind of see how I like it slung up, and then I'll remove the ones I don't need. So that being said, also these are Spikes Tactical flip up sights. Man, I sighted these things in, and you want to talk about a fine-tuned sight for going out, even out to 100 yards, man. I was shooting a quarter-size group out at 100 with iron sights. That's not too bad, if you ask me. And they're easy to adjust. They're metal. They flip down out of the way in case your main primary sight goes down, right? So, and as you can see on the rear here, I've got a, what is this, B5 Concepts or something like that. It's slipping my mind, but in Woodlands camo. I just love the look of this. I love the feel of this stock. It is a little bit more on the weighty side, especially if you put anything like batteries or tools into the little chambers on the side here. It is fully adjustable, right? on there, so that's good. It does have a little bit of a butt pad, but it's just hard rubber, so it's not like it has a lot of recoil anyway. We did go with the MOE, or the, excuse me, the, what do we call it, Magpul grip that has the little, you got the little thing here that allows you to put batteries or an extra shell or something like that in the bottom, as you can see, so it's hollow. You can put things in there, which is really good. I really like that. I usually put in a battery in there, or some tools like the Allen wrenches for these is one good thing. Just make sure you put some bubble wrap or something in there so it doesn't rattle around. Otherwise you might have some unhappy teammates if you're trying to be hush hush, if you know what I mean. So that being said, as far as optics, I went with the Primary Arms Micro Prism 3X, which with that ASC whatever reticle on there, that range finding reticle they have. I have been using this on some of my rifles. I'm really liking it. It's something that can get the job done from, you know, 0 to all the way out to, you know, you could make this thing work at 400 or 500 yards, I'm sure. But it's a good solid performer from 0 to 300 yards. It's quick, it's light, it doesn't take up much space on here, which keeps the gun really light. Now, I did get the neat little, they have a replacement clamp that gives you a mounting point for a red dot on here. So in case this goes down, breaks, whatever, or you just want to engage close in targets, you can go straight to your red dot just by tipping your rifle and looking like that. You're on target there with your optic, and then right there I'm on target with the other one. I really like the way that works and sets up. Now it does put off something here to the side as a little bit of a hang up, but as you can see, it's not really kicked out at a true all the way out there. It's kind of tight in, and that's what I liked about this, is they thought about that and they brought it in some. So I think that's a really good option for a, you know, like a close in CQB red dot type of situation, and you really aren't tipping it that much. You're right there, which means you still don't have to change up your shoulder or your grip or anything. You're just right there on it. It's right there in your eye. I really like it. Now, some of the things I wanted some of your opinions on is, one, should I have Fat Rooster do this whole thing in woodland camo? I think it'd look pretty sick, and him and I will be talking, but I think it would look really good, right? I'm not one for rattle can. I just don't care for it. It doesn't last long. It, you know, tends to cook off and smell a little. It gets dirty and sticky, that kind of thing. I'd like something that's a little bit more permanent. Cerakote's that way, and he does beautiful work. If you haven't checked out Fat Rooster, go check out Fat Rooster. He's in most of the chats that we're in. You will absolutely love his work. It is great. He's got some sick looking stuff, but I like the woodland camo. Plus we're going to do some other things with some fake leaves and that kind of stuff in the future. I hope you guys enjoy that. Now, what I wanted to know is would you guys go with, rather than that B5, would you switch up to this Mission First Tactical, which is basically just their little battle link, minimalist, lightweight, kind of a hook type situation right here? Would you switch it up to that, as you can see there? All right. Would you switch it up to this, which will scrub a little bit of weight, keep it more streamlined? Or would you switch out the furniture to this Daniel Defense stuff, which somebody gave to me? Let's see here. There's, as you can see, it looks like that. It's still fully adjustable, right? It has some rubberized cheek places right there. It's not as light as you'd think it is for what it is, but it's lighter. And it has different butt pads, so you can change the, you know, the length of pull a little bit. And then you have your grip, which I wouldn't be able to use because the well, unless I cut this off. I could cut this off and use it. If I cut it off straight right there, then I could use this grip. But this grip is just plain hollow, doesn't have any kind of storage space. It is a little bit more contoured, but the Griffin, as you can see, has a built-in, machined-in trigger guard, so you don't, enlarged trigger guard, so you don't need a trigger bow. And that's one of the other parts from the Geissele kit that I wasn't able to use, was the maritime trigger bow that they had in there. So that being said, and then this kind of vertical grip, which I don't have anything against them, I don't really use a vertical grip. I mean, yeah, you can have a place to put things, but I don't use one like this. I mainly grab around my tube and use it that. So I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section. The feedback is good. The engagement with the channel is good that way. I appreciate all your guys' support. I hope you really enjoy this. Please leave any comments on what you think or what you would do differently or what you like about it. Answer any of those questions that I asked you. And here soon we're going to get out to the range and you're going to see some range footage. But I can tell you this thing is a shooter. It shot great. I loved it. It felt good. It was light, quick, fast. I think 14.5 is a good length that gives you performance and still keeps it compact. So until next time, I hope you enjoy this and watch out for the next Super Duper Duty video, right? So as I always say, stay alert, be aware of your surroundings, right? Always carry, be ready and prepared for anything that may come your way, right? Also, God bless you all, and don't forget to say prayers for people in need. I think it's really important right now. I think it's important that we bring each other together. Well, as Red Dawn Readiness says, God is King, right? So till next time, adios and aloha.